Last month, I went up to the San Francisco Bay Area to pitch to top tier investors like Sequoia Capital and Peer VC. Additionally, I've also gone through a Startup Accelerator where I had the chance to pitch to over 100 investors over a span of a couple of weeks. And from my experience and learnings, investors really only invest in two types of companies. And no, I'm not just gonna say be a great founder or build something super exciting people want. And also for context in this video, when I'm talking about investors, I'm mostly talking about traditional institutional investors that invest in pre-seed to C stage. Not necessarily talking about accelerators or angel investors, which follow a slightly different line of philosophy. And for context, if you don't know who I am, my name is Andrew, and I'm the co-founder of Yorbi AI, which is a social media marketing platform for software companies. Today, we mainly specialize in helping SaaS apps go viral on social media with AI-generated content. We are also invested by Jason Calacanis' Launch Accelerator. All right, let's get into it. So the first type of companies that I have learned investors like investing into is a company that is building a brand new world that can potentially change the future as we know it. Think about AI back in 2016 or the internet back in 1990s. And investors like investing in these companies in these industries just because when these industries are mostly starting out, there's usually very low competition. And if their investment does pan out, the upsides can be very massive, up to like 100x to 1000x. So if you're looking to build a company within this space, I will try to find out what is going to be the next big thing. In our case, it's probably something that has to do with the, something that is either going to help accelerate the growth of AI or an industry that AI is going to create because of the advancements in artificial intelligence. So just to throw a couple examples of things I heard of, and this is by no means going to be the future, but I heard of things like quantum computing is going to be big, robotics is going to be big, like physical AI, things within material science, or things with nuclear power, since you need a lot of power to power these type of AI centers. The second type of companies investors tend to invest in is companies that have insane traction. Now, usually these are companies in a very competitive and saturated space, but validated, like it's a validated market. And ultimately, investors don't know who is going to win in this space. So as a result, they only want to invest in the ones that are already leading the space. So in terms of how much traction you need, I would say the goalpost has moved in the past couple of years due to the whole AI hype. Like companies are growing a lot faster than ever right now. But from what I've heard, usually anywhere from 1 to 3 million in annual recurring revenue is currently the stage that investors will feel a lot of comfortability in investing in a pre-seed to seed round, assuming that you're, again, in one of these industries where there's a lot of competition and it's very saturated. So my startup, Yorbi, happens to fall within this space because we're building within the marketing space, and AI marketing is right now already an industry that has grown in the past couple of years, and there's a lot of competitors in this space at the moment. Even though we're currently at roughly $100,000 in annual recurring revenue, when I was pitching to a lot of investors, they all asked me a couple of the same questions. And these questions were, it's a hyper competitive market. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to win? What is your traction? And ultimately, what is your moat to protect yourself against other competitors or even like the bigger AI companies like ChatGPT, OpenAI, or Anthropic Claude? Now, I will say the golden rule within the VC world when it comes to raising money that ultimately just trumps everything else is if the investor likes the founding team. So let's just say you have an undisputed cracked founding team that has a very, very strong track record. Then if investors believe in you, then ultimately it doesn't really matter what industry or how much traction you have, because investors will probably be willing to invest into your team. Because ultimately, a lot of investors, especially at the earlier stages up to like seed round, they're just investing in a team that they truly believe can grow into a big company. Now, I will say accelerators and angel investors kind of fall into this category where they're mostly investing in the founder. But I will say they're also a little bit slightly different since they're usually super early stage and more lenient, where they're purely investing in your potential as a founder rather than like your track record already as a founder. So What do I mean by that? It's kind of similar to how, let's say, a girl would invest in a guy in her 20s, even though he is unproven, but she thinks that he has potential. While traditional VCs like Sequoia or something, you can think of them more like a person that already wants a guy that has gone through med school or something and is about to start his first year as a doctor. Technically, both have zero salary today, but one has significant evidence and earning potentials already. So what's our story of being invested by Jason Calacanis? So we were invested by Jason Calacanis' team back in August of last year, where they gave us $125,000 for 7% of our company, and we were also able to join their Startup Accelerator program. And I think the one thing that really made me and my co-founder, Your Average Tech Bro, stand out was that we were both content creators with a combined 1.3 million followers. And I think that really helped us throughout the process, as there's a current narrative going around the tech community that product is no longer the moat and distribution is everything. So I just think having this strong background of distribution and being a creator really worked in our favor, in addition to having a very strong corporate background, because I used to work in investment banking and my co-founder is an ex-Google software engineer. And in addition to all of that, we also had a referral from a founder that's also gone through the program before. So in conclusion, that is a quick summary of what investors are looking for when they're investing in your company. And understanding what category you fall into can probably help you gain clarity on what you need to focus on, or what type of pitch you should be pitching to investors. Like, are you someone that needs to convey that you are the future of an industry? Or are you someone that needs to get back to work, grow the company some more before talking to institutional investors again? Overall, I'm creating this account to document my journey of growing my startup, Yorby AI, where whether that is talking about fundraising, sales and marketing, building a team, or just in general, everything a more non-technical co-founder would doing at a startup. So if that sounds interesting to you, feel free to follow along. But other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys all next time.